Today on the Cardinal Sports Network, we bring you boys varsity soccer action as your Lawrence Cardinals will be taking on the Mighty Irish of Notre Dame. This is an exciting crosstown rival, as quite often we'll see some of the Notre Dame players be former Lawrence students. Starting in goal today will be Chase Rodeville for the Lawrence Cardinals, and at the far end of the field, Liam Hogan will be defending the Notre Dame goal. Looks like they're about to get started here. And there's first kick of the game, and a big long one sends it down towards the Cardinal 18. Cardinals will clear the ball. Now pass out towards the near sideline and across the sideline. So that will turn the ball over to Notre Dame. There's the throw in. And Notre Dame will play it off to the other side of the field, trying to find a way past the Cardinal defense. There's a kick up towards center, rejected by the Cardinals. And Cardinals looking pretty good in the opening section of this game. There's a pass in towards the goal. Oh, it's taken away by Notre Dame. And now Notre Dame, well, they tried to take it up the field, but taken right back by Lawrence. And sent back over to Notre Dame. Interesting note. With coaches for these games, Coach Jeff Molinelli for Lawrence has been with the team for a few years. On the other bench, however, we've got Coach P.J. Barrett. And Coach Barrett is actually a longtime Lawrence Township Public Schools employee. And in addition to the duties that he's had over the years over at the intermediate school, he's also been partners in a soccer camp that he and another person run during the summer here in Lawrence Township for students who want to learn to play soccer. So see what kind of coaching he can do for the Mighty Irish. Right now Lawrence trying to bring the ball back up towards the Irish goal. They get it across the center line, and there's a deflection on the pass. That one tips out of bounds. It'll be Notre Dame throw in. Now Notre Dame dropping back to reset. And a steal by Lawrence will take the ball the other direction. That was Jermaine Meisel with the breakaway there. He'll play it off to this side of the field. Shot on goal. First shot of the game, I believe, and they're right into the waiting hands of Liam Hogan. Hogan plays it off to one of the fullbacks. He'll send it on over right by our camera position. Now up the line. And Notre Dame on the attack. Pass forward. There's a cross. And Chase Rodeville comes out of the goal and grabs that one. In the Cardinals' last outing at home here, we did a broadcast of it, and Chase was very athletic and quite an asset to the team. It's interesting to watch him play. Hopefully he'll have another good game like he did last time. There's a shot on goal as Lawrence continues to apply the pressure. That will be kicked out of bounds, and looks like it's off of Lawrence, so it'll be a Notre Dame throw in. Here's a throw by Notre Dame. Lawrence got a head on it, but it went out of bounds, so that will be another throw in for Notre Dame. There's the throw. They'll drop it back. And seeing no real pressure, they'll move it down the field. Pass over to center. And we'll drop it back again. Now the ball gets played over towards the near side of the field. There's a pass forward. They'll drop it back, and a little bit of pressure from Lawrence there. There's a big kick from Notre Dame. That one will be settled down and played off to the far side of the field. Cross is picked off by Lawrence. Now pass up the field. This time no breakaway, as well, the fullback doing a lot of fancy footwork there instead of getting rid of it. Here's a pass up the line. Lawrence right there to challenge. It gets tipped out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Notre Dame. Once again off of Lawrence, Notre Dame ball. It's a surprisingly warm day here at the Cardinal Field for the middle of October, and should lead to some great soccer action. There's some great soccer action, in fact, as Lawrence gets past Notre Dame for a while. Notre Dame stops them and sends the ball back. Now Lawrence sends it the other direction, and back to Notre Dame. Lawrence with a head on the ball, settled down by Notre Dame. Pass in towards the middle. And that looked like it may have been a tripping call. So it'll be a free kick for Notre Dame. There's an unorthodox move by Notre Dame to send it off to the side instead of kicking it up the middle. Could have been effective. Now Lawrence with the ball. And Notre Dame will pressure a mistake, take the ball away. And drop it back for the moment. Now Notre Dame on the move again. Ball is tipped out of bounds by Lawrence. Back to Notre Dame it goes. Here's almost a throw-in. Here we go. There's a throw-in. That one's headed out of bounds by Lawrence. Once again, a throw-in for Notre Dame. There's a throw. Headed up in the air by Notre Dame. And tied up by Lawrence. Lawrence will clear the ball, but it's picked off by Notre Dame. Notre Dame dribbles it out of bounds. This will be a Lawrence throw-in. And looks like Davin Joydon is leaving the game as we have a couple quick substitutions. Here's the throw-in by Lawrence. Tussle for possession. Notre Dame will drop the ball back. And even further back. Now they'll move it back the other direction. Here's across the midfield. A pass through. A little too far ahead, and that will go over the end line, bringing up a goal kick for Lawrence. The Notre Dame-Lawrence matchup has been kind of an exciting one the past couple years, as the Lawrence Township mayor enacted what he called the Mayor's Cup. And the games were actually played over at Rider University the past couple years. The inaugural Mayor's Cup was won by Lawrence, and the second one was won by Notre Dame. So pretty competitive matchup between the two schools. So Hogan will roll the ball out to the fullback. And there's a pass forward. He'll play that off to the side and back again. Now the ball gets sent over to the other side of the field, but the pass is picked off by Lawrence. Some good moves there to keep possession of the ball. Played forward. And there's a pass down the line. Notre Dame comes away with the ball. Now Notre Dame will have possession as they send it down the field. Lawrence in hot pursuit. There comes a cross, and it goes way across. Out of bounds on Notre Dame. That will be a Lawrence throw-in. Patrick Maloney with the throw-in. And I believe that was offsides call. That will be a free kick for Lawrence. Here's the kick. Up it goes. Good long kick. Header by Notre Dame sends it the other way, but Lawrence gets a foot on it. Ball taken away by Notre Dame and sent the other direction, but a header from Lawrence keeps it out of the 18. Notre Dame will play the ball back. Meisel there giving pressure. Now Notre Dame will move the ball over toward the other side of the field. And Notre Dame's going to drop it all the way back to Hogan. Hogan plays it over to the near side. And now Notre Dame starts to move the ball forward. Lawrence takes the ball away. Big kick down the field, and Hogan will scoop that one up. Hogan rolls it right back out to the fullback. Now, pass down the line is intercepted by Lawrence. And it'll go off the shin of Notre Dame. Lawrence throw-in. Here's the throw. Kept in bounds, but looks like Notre Dame got a piece of that one. There's a kick back towards the Lawrence goal. Several people went up for that one. Ended up with Notre Dame coming down with that one. Oh, and there we saw Rodeville come out and stop what could have been a very dangerous occurrence as Notre Dame was on the charge toward the goal. This will bring a Notre Dame throw in. Lawrence breaks up the play. Clears the ball out of bounds. Must have been tipped by one of the Notre Dame players because it looks like Lawrence will be taking the throw in. Massive substitutions there. And we'll finally get back to play. And there's the throw in. And it's headed out of bounds by Notre Dame. That will be a Lawrence throw-in. Samuel Bowes doing the throwing duties. That one's headed up in the air and settled by Notre Dame. Notre Dame sends it down towards the Lawrence 18, and it's a foot race to gain possession of the ball. Notre Dame still has it. Heavy pressure from Lawrence, but Notre Dame hung on to that one. There's a shot on goal. Rodeville jumped and then thought better of it as it went sailing clean over top the goal. That will bring on a Lawrence goal kick. Much like we saw last week, Rodeville will do the kicking duties himself. Ball's kicked right back the other direction by Notre Dame. They'll drop it back and reset. There's across to midfield, but Lawrence saw that one coming and took a run at it. Now Notre Dame trying to move it down the far side of the field, back towards midfield, and played off. Well, it got away from them, and Lawrence turned around and cleared it. And another offsides call. That will bring up a free kick for Lawrence. A little over 25 minutes left in this first half. Damian Zamigraj will be taking the kick. And a big long kick it was too, as it's all the way down there for Hogan to grab a hold of. There's a drop kick. That's sent across the midfield line into Lawrence territory. Lawrence sends it back across, but it's picked off by Notre Dame. Notre Dame will send it back down towards the Lawrence goal. And the ball is cleared by Lawrence. Lawrence will play it back. And then forward on the near side of the field. Unfortunately, Notre Dame ends up with it. Pass down the middle is intercepted by Lawrence. And there's a big kick to the near corner. Germain unable to get to it in time. This will bring up a throw in for Notre Dame. But we're having a few more substitutions.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
The girls' varsity tennis team is on the courts in the background having their meet. Lawrence has the ball. Pass. And up the middle, this time it's picked off by Notre Dame. Notre Dame on a drive toward the Lawrence goal. Slide tackle slowed him down, but did not stop him. Shot on goal just a little bit off to the right and tipped out of bounds by Rotteville. That will bring up a corner kick for Notre Dame. Corner kicks are always a scary moment for the defense, as it's a scoring opportunity for Notre Dame right now. Here's a kick by Notre Dame. Short kick is fielded by Lawrence, popped up in the air. Header by Notre Dame and cleared by Lawrence. Kicked right back in towards the 18 by Notre Dame. And lots of heads getting into the action there. There's a slow kick towards the goal. Rotteville has no trouble scooping that one up. And the drop kick. High but not very long. That one settled by Lawrence. Taken away by Notre Dame. And a big kick goes nowhere, taken away by Lawrence. Recovered by Notre Dame. And cleared by Lawrence. Lawrence comes up with the ball. The pass towards midfield is intercepted by Notre Dame, and they'll play it back to Hogan. Hogan doesn't even have time to pick it up. He just kicks it out of there. Now Notre Dame moving the ball around midfield. They'll send it over towards the Lawrence goal. And Rotteville will come out and end that play. Here's a kick from Rotteville. Notre Dame comes up with the ball. And moving it towards midfield. Now there's a shot in towards the goal. Once again, Rotteville right there to stop it. Big kick, and it's cleared by Notre Dame. Lawrence sends the ball toward the midfield line. It's headed back, and Lawrence recovers. Now played down towards the far corner. That will be kicked back by Notre Dame. Headed by Lawrence. And Notre Dame comes away with the ball. That one's passed towards middle and sent down towards the end of the field. Lawrence will wait for it to go out of bounds for a goal kick. See some people walking along the pathway in the back with masks on. That's a reminder that we are observing COVID-19 safety precautions. No students are even allowed in the grandstands for this event. It's strictly parents coming out for this event, and they are practicing social distancing. Good slide tackle there by Lawrence, recovered by Notre Dame.
Hey, you got a step, Jason. Come on, you gotta help Jackson.
Kick for the cross. And a slow bouncer there for Rodeville to grab. There's a drop kick. Notre Dame uncharacteristically not able to settle that one on the first bounce. But now they're back to full song, and here comes Notre Dame on the attack. Pass up the middle. Shot. Oh, that was a very close situation there, as Kyle Allen was in position to put that one in the net and just couldn't get his outstretched foot onto it.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
That will bring up a goal kick for Lawrence. I'm sure we'll see Rodeville do this one again. Here's the kick. Headed a little further, but settled by Notre Dame. Now Notre Dame will advance it upfield. Drop it back. And across. We'll send the action over to the far side of the field. Notre Dame sends it in towards the 18, kicked right back out by Lawrence. Now back to the far sideline, in towards the middle. And a roller. Shot. Easily fielded by Rodeville. There's a kick by Rodeville. I'm not sure why he does that with putting it down to kick it. Got the attention of the Notre Dame offense, though, as one of the players scrambled up there trying to get to it in time. Notre Dame now in possession of the ball, coming down the far sideline. Now cross it in front of the goal. Kicked back out by Lawrence. Now here's another pass in. Once again, hit that red wall of Lawrence defense. Notre Dame back near their own 18. They'll try and bring it up the near side of the field. Fancy play there, and oh, Rodeville comes way out of the goal to grab a hold of that one. Good play by Rodeville.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
Referee had a quick word with the offense about roughing the goalie, but no harm done. Here's the kick. Lawrence comes up with the ball. Faked out our cameraman for a moment here. Ball's played over toward the near sideline. Big shot forward and shot on goal. Oh, that was a nice play. Damian Zamagridge tried to get the shot off and into the goal on the first touch. That one was tipped out and deflected by Notre Dame, so it will bring up Lawrence's first corner kick of the game. David Mashkat will be doing the honors for the corner kick. Here's the kick. Right into the middle, but headed out by Notre Dame. Lawrence quick to recover. And Lawrence maintaining possession. There's another cross. Once again, knocked away by Notre Dame and kicked out of bounds. That'll be a Lawrence ball. Majcut with the throw in. There's the throw. He's headed out, but once again recovered by Lawrence. Lawrence kind of trapped in that near corner. Manages to get the pass off. And that one will go off of Notre Dame for another corner kick for Lawrence. As the opportunities keep coming here, maybe Lawrence will be able to put one in and take the lead in this game. Majcut once again setting up for the corner. And here comes the kick. Gets past everyone. Notre Dame manages to get a hold of it, and they will send it up the far sideline. Out of bounds, and Lawrence is calling that it's their ball. Referee agrees, and there's a throw-in for Lawrence. Headed back the other direction, but out of bounds. That will bring up another throw-in for Lawrence. Here's the throw. Headed back out again by Notre Dame. Yet another throw-in for Lawrence. Lawrence tried to get a shot off there, but just couldn't penetrate the defense. Ball taken away by Lawrence. Errant pass ends up in Notre Dame possession, and Notre Dame will send it up the field, quickly cleared by Lawrence. And shot by Lawrence, deflected by the defense. That'll be sent out of bounds by Notre Dame. Lawrence ball. Maloney taking the throw in. Sent right back past Maloney. He's not giving up on it though. And the game getting just a little bit too physical for the referee. It'll be a Lawrence free kick. Popped up in the air, headed this direction, and it will come out of bounds. Lawrence throw in. There's the throw. Out of bounds on Notre Dame. Another Lawrence throw in. There's the throw. Popped up in the air by Lawrence. And the offside call. There's the kick by Notre Dame. Now scrambling for possession over there. Notre Dame still hanging on to it. Manages to get the pass off. Pass to midfield. And a loping shot over towards goal was right into the arms of Rodeville. He'll drop kick it out of there. And that one will be headed out of bounds by Notre Dame. It'll be a Lawrence throw in. There's the throw by Lawrence. I believe that may have been a handball on Lawrence. There's the kick from Notre Dame. Now Notre Dame moving the ball over to the far side of the field. That one's tipped out of bounds. I believe that'll be a Notre Dame ball. Couple quick substitutions. We see Magicut leaving the game for Lawrence. Here's a throw in for Notre Dame. Headed back towards Notre Dame. Notre Dame brings it in on the ground. Slide tackle takes the ball away, and Lawrence comes up with it. Now Lawrence working the far side of the field. That'll be tipped out of bounds. Notre Dame ball. So Notre Dame will do a throw in here in a moment. Here's the throw. And Lawrence will clear the ball. Ball's tipped down towards the near corner. And good play there by Lawrence. That was Patrick Maloney who managed to get a kickoff that was deflected out of bounds by Notre Dame. Just barely keeping it in long enough for that to happen so that they got the throw in. Now Meisel with some fancy moves to get past some defenders, and he'll send the ball very deep into Notre Dame territory. Wow, Hogan with two successive saves there as he had to come well out of the goal. He'll kick it the other direction. Ball gets past the defenders. But Dylan Adamski manages to run it down and kick it back out to other Lawrence players. As the ball is going back and forth from one to another, Lawrence maintaining control. There's a pass up the far sideline. Liam Collins off in the corner. He'll send that one forward. Ball's taken away by Notre Dame. Recovered by Lawrence. Now pass back, and the shot over towards the goal is headed away by Notre Dame. That will be a Lawrence throw-in. Cleared by Notre Dame. Lawrence will send the ball up the field. It's rejected and sent right back by Notre Dame. Now Notre Dame on the attack. There's a shot. And a diving save by Rodeville to keep that one out of the net. But that will bring up a corner kick for Notre Dame. Coming up on 6 minutes left in this first half. And we're still scoreless at Cardinal Field as Lawrence takes on Notre Dame in boys varsity soccer. Owen Barlow will be taking the corner kick for Notre Dame. Here's a kick by Barlow. And the header bounces slowly right over where Rotterdam can grab it and sends it back out again. And there's some good play along our near sideline. Jermaine Meisel managed to get past defenders and send the ball down, take the ball himself down the field quite a ways. Kick from Notre Dame sent it out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in for Lawrence. Maloney with the throw. That one goes out of bounds. It will be a Notre Dame throw-in. Notre Dame with a big kick. Lawrence sends it right back in towards the goal. There's Meisel to try and take advantage of it, but he's got heavy defense all over him. Manages to get the pass off, and there's a shot. Oh, just hooked a little bit to the left. And another opportunity at a goal didn't come to fruition. This will bring up a goal kick for Notre Dame. Looks like Hogan's going to take that one himself. Here's a kick. And a good kick it is. Notre Dame gets a hold of the ball. Ball's tipped away but out of bounds, so that'll be a throw-in for Notre Dame. Here's a throw. Fancy footwork there. Notre Dame's able to keep possession. Now there's a cross. And that will be tipped over the goal by Rotterdam. That'll bring up another corner kick for Notre Dame.
Somebody get on number 9!
You can see Rotterdam directing defense where to set up.
He's the guy out there with the most skill, walking around with nobody on him.
Aiden Honish. Looks like he's going to kick it. There's a kick towards the goal, headed out by Lawrence, and that will go across the end line for another corner kick. Both Honish and Barlow over there in the corner for Notre Dame. This time Lawrence is ready for that play. There's a cross, headed out by Lawrence. Headed back in by Notre Dame, back out by Lawrence again. Now up in the air. Everyone goes up for it. And Notre Dame comes up with the ball. They'll drop it back and reset. Ball's played out towards the far sideline. Now a shot towards the goal. Rotterdam will punch that one out. Played over to the far side, and another shot in towards the goal. Rotterdam tips that one clean out of the park, which will bring up another corner kick for Notre Dame. Looks like Honish is going to do this one by himself this time. Here's a kick. Punched out by Rotterdam. Sent back in by Notre Dame, but past the goal. Now Lawrence trying to get it out of the area. That will go out of bounds. We'll see who gets the call. Looks like Notre Dame will be taking a throw in. Throw in by Notre Dame. Headed back out by Lawrence. Notre Dame tried to advance it. And Lawrence cleared it, but it went over the sideline, so it'll be another throw in for Notre Dame. Here's the throw. Kicked back out by Lawrence. Ooh. Lawrence actually crossed it past their own goal. But it will be cleared by Lawrence. And kicked out of bounds by Notre Dame. Lawrence throwing. That's Thomas Zajkowski over there with the ball getting ready for the throw-in. He's been playing a very good game today. Time ticking away, though. And that will do it for the end of the first half of play as we remain scoreless here as the Lawrence Cardinals take on the Notre Dame Mighty Irish in boys varsity soccer. Stay tuned for more action.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
So to start the second half of this game, Lawrence will have the ball. Still scoreless here at Cardinal Field. Lawrence taking on Notre Dame in boys varsity soccer. That one's played all the way back to the Notre Dame goalie, Liam Hogan. Now ball sent out to the far side of the field. Players seem to be pacing themselves a little bit. Taken away by Lawrence. Pass is a little too energetic and it gets away. Notre Dame gets the ball. Notre Dame on a breakaway here. And Lawrence managed to get a foot on that and send it over the sideline, breaking up the play. I'll bring up a throw-in for Notre Dame. There's the throw. Ball is cleared by Lawrence. Taken away by Notre Dame. Now played into the corner, and that one will be kicked out of bounds by Lawrence over the end line, bringing up a corner kick for Notre Dame. Aiden Honish will take the corner kick for Notre Dame. Here's the kick. Right into the waiting arms of Chase Rodeville as he'll send that ball out. Ball's kicked out of bounds by Notre Dame. That'll be a Lawrence throw-in. Here's the throw. Advanced further down the line by Lawrence. No one there. Notre Dame will pick it up. And out of bounds on Notre Dame will be a Lawrence throw-in. Lawrence advances the ball further down the field. And that was a good hustle. But Meisel wasn't able to keep it in bounds. Here's the kick by Hogan. Notre Dame keeps possession of the ball, but they'll send it down the line. Headed back by Lawrence. Kicked forward by Notre Dame. And sent the other direction by Lawrence. Blocked by Notre Dame. Now Notre Dame recovers the ball. And Lawrence comes up with it. Loose ball ends up with Notre Dame. They'll play it over to the far side of the field. And the play down the line is stopped by Lawrence, out of bounds, so it'll be Notre Dame throw in.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
There's the throw in. Tipped out of bounds by Lawrence again. That'll bring up another throw in for Notre Dame. There's the throw. And crossed by Notre Dame, doesn't go very far. Scramble for the ball. And it'll be a free kick for Lawrence. Rodeville will line up for the kick. There's the kick. Notre Dame comes up with the ball. They move smartly down the far sideline. That'll be tipped out of bounds by Lawrence, just barely to the left of that corner post. That'll bring up a throw-in instead of a corner kick. Notre Dame with the throw. And the kick towards the middle is cleared by Lawrence. Now Notre Dame setting up. And good dribbling there by Notre Dame to advance the ball. Notre Dame drops it back. Kick to the near side. Now put into the 18, and the roller picked up by Rodeville. Good stop. There's a drop kick. They'll send the ball out to midfield. And then some. Out of bounds on Lawrence. That'll be a Notre Dame ball. Oh, different call, but it's still Notre Dame ball. Now the ball gets played back even further. Notre Dame will move it to this side of the field. Fast and furious action there. Notre Dame will drop back and reset. Now Lawrence kicks it deep down the field. Meisel running for it. Manages to keep it in. He clears one defender, but ball's cleared by a second defender. Now the ball's advanced down the near sideline for Notre Dame. Oh, and that may be a penalty.
Hey, Sean! Hey, Sean! I got a 2-footed tackle right outside the 18.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
So that will be a free kick for Notre Dame just outside the Lawrence 18. There's the shot. And, diving save by Rodeville. Rodeville continues to impress in this game, as he has in previous games. Rodeville saved the goal, but that's going to bring up yet another corner kick for Notre Dame. So both Honish and Barlow down there in the corner. Now it looks like Honish is going to kick the ball. Dropped it back in an unusual move. In fact, so far back that Lawrence was able to get there ahead of him and get the ball. Notre Dame recovers, however. Heavy pressure over there by the line. And Lawrence will kick it out of their area. Notre Dame recovers quite quickly, and they're back on the attack. Cross over towards the goal, and Rodeville has no trouble with that one. There's a kick by Rotteville. Headed back towards him by Notre Dame. Popped up in the air and headed further that way by Notre Dame. Now Notre Dame will drop it back and look for the cross to the near side of the field. Big shot in the air. Header goes out of bounds. So Lawrence heads it out to save the day there, but it's going to be another corner kick for Notre Dame. This time just Barlow in the corner. Here's the kick. And cleared by Lawrence. That'll be a throw-in for Notre Dame. There's the throw. Kicked out of bounds by Lawrence. That'll be another throw-in for Notre Dame. A discussion about who's going to do the throw-in. Here's the throw. A good long throw it is. Headed right back the other direction. And Lawrence will come up with the ball. Now Lawrence going on the attack. Pass towards the middle. Oh, shot's a little wide of the goal. That was Tom Zachkowski. Managed to get a shot off toward the goal. Now Hogan will set up for a goal kick. Here's the kick by Hogan. And that one will go down into Lawrence territory. Lawrence comes up with the ball, and they'll clear it. Headed back towards Lawrence. Now pass off to the far side of the field. Ball taken away by Lawrence, but recovered by Notre Dame. Shot on goal. And that's a goal. Notre Dame has scored the first goal of the game. That was Chris Hines scoring the goal to give the lead to the Notre Dame Irish, and they seem quite elated about it, as they should be after waiting this long.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
So Lawrence will resume play with possession. They'll send it over toward a header of Notre Dame. Notre Dame heads it out of bounds. It'll be a Lawrence throw-in. I can't quite tell how much time is left in this second half because the clock has stopped working on the scoreboard. Hopefully they'll get that running again soon. In the meantime, Notre Dame with possession of the ball. Took it a little too close to the line, and it'll be a Lawrence throw-in. There's a throw for Lawrence. And pass towards center. Play is broken up by Notre Dame. Lawrence recovers the ball. Meisel with a shot towards the goal. And it's in. That one was kicked by Meisel, but put into the net by Thomas Zachkowski. As Lawrence will tie up the score here, 1-1.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Well, that didn't take long for Lawrence to come back with that goal. Hopefully they can do that again and take the lead in this one. Now Notre Dame with possession. They'll drop it back. Now playing it forward. Pass off to the far side. Drop back again. Now up the sideline. Notre Dame will now advance it toward the middle of the field. Over to the near corner. Ball's taken away and cleared by Lawrence. Right toward our camera platform, and that will go out of bounds for a Notre Dame throw-in. Notre Dame kicks it out of bounds. That must have been a foot of Lawrence in there with it because it's a Notre Dame throw-in. There's the throw. Out of bounds. Notre Dame throw-in. They're going to play that ball all the way back to Hogan. Hogan's outside the 18. Managed to get the kick off and play it to the far side of the field before Meisel could get there. There's a long kick down the sideline. The ball coming in close to the Lawrence goal. Shot. Oh, and what a save there. As Rodaville really leapt for that one. Incredible play in the goal there. That will be a corner kick for Notre Dame. Barlow over here getting ready to take the kick. There's the kick. Headed and saved once again by Rodaville. That was a good headshot too, and Rodaville was ready for it. Lawrence advances the ball, but Notre Dame will clear it. Headed back towards Notre Dame goal. And that will go out of bounds for a Notre Dame throw-in. Notre Dame with the throw-in. Played forward by Lawrence. Oh, and good hustle there by Zamigaraj. Cross towards center is kicked over the end line by Notre Dame. So Lawrence will now have a corner kick. Looks like Zamigaraj may be taking it. Here's the kick. Right in where it needed to be. Notre Dame clears the ball. Lawrence recovers. Notre Dame intercepts the pass. Lawrence sends it back that direction. And Alex Rojak will gather it up in the corner. Pass is deflected. Now kicked out of bounds. We'll see who gets the ball on that one. Looks like it's going to be a Notre Dame ball. So Notre Dame with the throw in. There's the throw. Lawrence sends the ball back that direction. And Notre Dame recovers, and they will cross it to the near side of the field. Now dropping back to reset. There's a cross to the far side of the field. No pressure. There's a pass forward. Now taken away by Lawrence. Recovered by Notre Dame. Notre Dame sends the ball in towards the goal. Rodaville comes out. Oh, the ball is behind Rodaville, but fortunately missed the goal. Went to the left side of the post. That will be a goal kick for Lawrence. From this angle, that really looked like a dangerous situation. Now Rodaville with the kick. Headed forward, but A little bit of elbow action called on the Notre Dame defenders. So that will be a Lawrence free kick. Zumigraj will be setting up for the kick. There's the kick. Headed up in the air by Notre Dame and headed out by Notre Dame. Shot right back in there by Lawrence. And a shot. Oh, I thought that was going to be a score. That was very close to going in by the far post. Just barely went across the line to the left of the post, but it will bring up another corner kick for Lawrence. There's Lawrence in good scoring position here. Zumigraj with the kick. And the header hit the post before going out. That was a very close shot. Could very easily have been a goal. But instead we get a goal kick as Hogan sets it up. Here's the kick. Notre Dame with the ball. They'll send it further down the field. Headed away by Lawrence. That was a good stop by Dylan Adamski. That will bring up a corner kick for Notre Dame. Well, still waiting to see who will take the corner kick as we have lots of substitutions happening. Finally, someone going down there to take the kick. And it's Aiden Honish again. Here's a kick by Honish. Header up in the air, and that was going to go out of bounds. It'll be a Lawrence goal kick. So Rodaville will set up for that goal kick. There's the kick. Popped up in the air by Meisel. And further down the line it goes. Lawrence comes up with the ball. That's Samuel Bowes over there. Now Notre Dame will get the throw in. Kevin Phillips with the throw. Ball popped up in the air. Recovered by Notre Dame. They'll send it forward. Well forward as shot on goal is deflected by Patrick Maloney over the end line. That will save the goal but set up another corner kick. Christopher Hines will be taking the corner kick. A little bit of a change up for Notre Dame. Hines with the kick. That one's punched out by Rodaville. The return shot goes wide to the left, and it'll be a goal kick for Lawrence. Rodaville will play it off to the sideline. Now it's sent up the line by Lawrence and across the line as it drifts out of bounds. Throw in for Notre Dame. Alice Rojic applying the pressure, keeping Notre Dame honest in their backfield. Now there's a big kick by Notre Dame to advance the ball. Good give and go, and Rodaville will come out and grab that one. Here's the kick. Notre Dame recovers the ball, and they will send it back towards the Lawrence goal. Play broken up by Lawrence, but Notre Dame recovers. Now there's a kick up the near sideline. Taken away by Lawrence. Sent across the sideline for a Notre Dame throw-in. Here's a throw for Notre Dame. Scramble down there, and that will be a call against Notre Dame. Dylan Adamski hit the turf there to bring out the call. Rodeville plays it off to the side. And now the ball is sent well up the field. Notre Dame comes up with it. Ball sent in and rejected quite quickly by Lawrence. Whistle will stop the action.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
And drop ball will resume play. That was for the officials to get the clock working again. As you can see on our scoreboard, we've got the clock working finally. Little over 15 minutes left in this game, and we're still all tied up at 1-1 with the Lawrence Cardinals taking on the Notre Dame Mighty Irish. Here's a free kick for Lawrence. Call goes against Notre Dame. Another kick for Lawrence, and it's Lawrence on the attack. Oh, good play by both players there. Go after that one. Hogan was victorious, and the ball is now headed down towards the Lawrence goal. Lawrence will stop that play. Pass up the near sideline. Even further along the near sideline. Now it's a foot race to see who can get a hold of it. And it'll be Notre Dame who comes up with the ball. Stopped by Lawrence, and the ball will go out of bounds. That'll be a, well, I thought it was going to be a throw-in. Apparently it's a penalty call. So it'll be a free kick for Notre Dame. Big long shot right into the waiting arms of Rodeville. He'll send the ball out. Ball's taken away by Notre Dame. Now Notre Dame will send it down into the corner. Lawrence plays it out. And now over to the far side. Cleared by Lawrence. Sent back the other direction by Notre Dame. And once again, sent down towards the Notre Dame side of the field by Lawrence. Now Meisel with the ball on the far side. Ball gets taken away, and Notre Dame will try and advance it back towards the Lawrence side of the field. Whistle on that play will set up a free kick for Notre Dame.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Here's the free kick. Lawrence sends it back the other direction. And Notre Dame drops it back to Hogan, who clears it. Notre Dame on the attack, but Lawrence there to break up the play. Lawrence will send it towards midfield, but picked off by Notre Dame. Now Notre Dame with a long shot towards goal, headed back out by Lawrence. Lawrence will send the ball out on the far side of the field. Ball gets away, kicked by Notre Dame, returned by Lawrence. Kicked over towards the sideline and across the sideline. Lawrence throwing. There's a throw in for Lawrence. Ball popped up in the air by Notre Dame. Notre Dame will settle the ball, taken away by Lawrence. Pass towards the middle is picked off by Notre Dame. Lawrence gets a foot on it, sends it over to the near sideline. And good hustle by Jackson Caruso, but just couldn't quite keep it in bounds. That'll bring up a throw in for Notre Dame. So here's the throw for Notre Dame. Out of bounds on Notre Dame. It'll be a Lawrence throw in. Dylan Adamski with the throw. Header by Notre Dame and kicked out. Now played back in by Lawrence. And an offside call on Lawrence. That will be a free kick for Notre Dame. Notre Dame will send it over to the far side of the field. And now the cross to the near side of the field. Now dribbling up the near sideline. There's a kick out ahead of everyone, and it's a foot race to see who gets it. It's Lawrence with control. That one kicked out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for Lawrence. Less than 10 minutes left in this game, and we're still all tied up at 1-1 here in the second half. Notre Dame sends the ball towards Lawrence. Lawrence returns the favor. And there goes the ball back to Lawrence again. Now deep into Lawrence territory. Here comes Notre Dame on the attack. And the shot. Oh. Good backup coverage there by David Majkat as the ball got past Chase Rodeville, something that hasn't happened a lot. Majkat there to cover the goal. Here's a shot on goal. That one's going to go a little bit to the left of the goal. Bring up a Lawrence goal kick. Here's the kick. Now Lawrence with the ball on the attack. Meisel bringing it down and kicked out of bounds by Notre Dame. That will be a Lawrence corner kick. Here's the corner kick. Oh, nobody get a head on it, and it's going to head out towards the near sideline. Lawrence keeps it in. Good hustle there. Sent back in, and the header, right off the post. That's two. That's amazing how close they've come on a couple occasions to putting it in. It may be that Hogan got a fingertip on it because it looks like they're setting up for another goal or another corner kick. Liam Collins will head over there to do the kicking duties. 7 minutes left in this game, and there's the kick. Headed out by Notre Dame. Whistle on the play. I thought it was going to be a handball. Call goes against Lawrence. That'll be Notre Dame with a free kick. Miles Ryan will be taking the kick for Notre Dame. There's a kick, and it's a big kick. Right into the waiting arms of Rotteville. He'll play it back out. Now there's a shot up the line toward the goal. Notre Dame's going to come away with it. And no pressure, so Notre Dame's taking their time. There's a kick. Ball sent out of bounds by Lawrence for a Notre Dame throw-in. There's a throw. And Notre Dame will cross it to the other side of the field, well, at least towards midfield. Now pass forward. And there'll be an offside call. That will be a free kick for Lawrence. Just over 5 minutes left in this game, and we're still tied up 1-1. Your Lawrence Cardinals versus the Notre Dame Mighty Irish. Rotteville lining up for the kick. There's the kick. Header by Notre Dame right back in the other direction. Lawrence gets a piece of it and sends it towards the Notre Dame goal. It's hit the other direction, and Lawrence returns it again. Now Lawrence will send it over to the far side of the field. Back to center. And there's a shot on goal, and Hogan dives on that one. Hogan with the kick. Notre Dame gets the ball. Play has gone to the far side of the field. Now moving it back out towards the middle. Notre Dame with a very good passing game. There's a shot toward the goal, and it's a goal. Notre Dame scores the second goal for that team. That was Owen Barlow who put that one in the net to give the Notre Dame Mighty Irish the lead in this game.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
So with less than 4 minutes left on the clock, the Mighty Irish have taken the lead over the Lawrence Cardinals, a score of 2-1. Now Notre Dame advancing the ball along the far sideline. Lawrence right there for it. And they'll play it back to Rotteville, who clear the ball. Kept in bounds by Notre Dame. Now Notre Dame back on the attack. They'll play it back. Over to the far side. Back even further. Now forward on the sideline. And we got some dribbling action heading right in towards the 18. There's a pass and a shot is deflected high. After all that bouncing, it ends up in Rotteville's hands again, and he'll roll it out to the far sideline. I believe that rolled across the sideline before he could get the kickoff, so it'll be a Notre Dame throw-in. Notre Dame with the throw. Lawrence stops the drive. Notre Dame recovers the ball. Now Lawrence will clear it. Popped up the air by Notre Dame. Notre Dame settles the ball. Ball sent forward and across. Picked off by Lawrence. Now Lawrence sends the ball along the far sideline. No one there. Notre Dame will come up with it. And there's a big kick by Notre Dame out to midfield. Lawrence gets a hold of that one. Now pass forward into the near corner. Lawrence gets past the defender, cross, and it's headed out by Notre Dame. Good play on this side of the field. Notre Dame holds up to wait for the rest of the team to show up. Now breaking through the defense. And diving kick by Rotteville. Gets it out of there briefly. Fired back in, and he falls on that one.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Lawrence will resume play. There's a big kick down the field. No one got a hold of that for a while. Finally, it's cleared by Notre Dame. Out of bounds. Lawrence throw-in. Less than a minute left. Lawrence in scoring position here. That one's kicked out by Notre Dame. Yeah, throw-in for Lawrence. Over the end line, and that will be a goal kick for Notre Dame, and that will bring the game to a close. And there's the final buzzer for the end of the game as the Notre Dame Mighty Irish win over the Lawrence Cardinals. And it's great to see such a show of sportsmanship by both teams out there. Thanks for tuning in to watch, and be sure to catch us again next time for more exciting action on the Cardinal Sports Network.